Hello. All right, sound is working now. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. In today's video, I'm going to talk about how to get your offer accepted in a competitive market. So whether you live in LA, where I am, or really anywhere across the country, low rates are sparking a ton of buyers and there's not a lot of inventory. So all houses are being sold very, very quickly. So I'm going to talk to you guys about some tips to get your offer accepted in this type of market. And if you stay to the end, I'm going to talk about a crazy update we got from the Fed that it's going to directly affect home prices and what's going to happen in the next 5 years. So stay tuned to the end. Thank you guys so much for watching. By the way, we've reached 1,000 subscribers. So I just want to thank all of you guys for subscribing, watching my videos. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing if you find this content valuable. So let's just dive right in. So the first thing you want to do in today's market is be wary that everything's going over asking. So if your maximum price is $700,000 to buy a home, and a home hits the market at $699 and it's really nice and really clean, do not waste your time and even go to look at that property, because that property is going to go over asking. And if 700,000 is your ceiling, your absolute ceiling, you can't even go $1,000 higher than that. You're really just going to waste your time, and it's going to discourage you if you keep putting in offers for 700 and houses are selling for 750, 775, 800,000. I just came across a property that we put an offer on, and one of my clients got his offer accepted at 100,000 over asking, and another client didn't get their offer accepted, and the list price was 750. It ended up going for 880, so 130,000 over asking. So if you keep putting in offers at your ceiling, then so if a house hits the market at 700 and your ceiling 700, you keep putting in offers, you're going to keep getting rejected, and it's just going to discourage you. So move down your price range. If your maximum price is 700, look at houses at the 6 to 650 range to give yourself a shot. So if you have to do that, you might have to go to check out different areas that you originally weren't planning on, but that's just what the market is right now, and you're going to keep missing out if you keep waiting. So that's the first thing you want to do. The second thing you want to do is consider a condo. If you're looking for a single family house and you can't find something in your price range, you can always find condos that may be suitable for you, especially if you're young, you don't have kids, things like that. You may want to consider a condo versus missing out on a house because it's just prices are too high right now. The third thing is be prepared to go over asking. I mean, if a house hits the market at $599, $699, $499, you pretty much guaranteed that it's going to go probably 10, 20% over asking. So it seems crazy, but that's just that's what's happening right now. That's the reality of the market. Okay, so another thing you can do is you can remove or shorten your contingencies. So if, a lot of these houses are getting 10 or 20 offers, okay? So what worked for me recently and one of my clients get his offer accepted was completely removing an inspection contingency. So it sounds a little bit risky, but when you're in a market like this, this is what you have to do. So if you know the house needs work or the house looks like it's in good shape, remove the inspection contingency. Let the agent and the sellers know that you're not going to ask them for any credit. You're going to buy the house as is, because again, that's what it's taking to get your offer accepted. If you're doing a regular 14-day inspection contingency or 14-day loan, it's just not going to get the job done at this point. So shorten your contingencies, make them 5 or 7 days at the most to give yourself the best chance of getting your offer accepted. Okay, so another thing that also worked recently is offering a free rent back. So again, another scenario that I'm currently dealing with, the sellers are moving to Illinois. So they have a big move coming up. So after we close, we offered a 30-day rent back free of charge, which means the seller stays in the house for an extra 30 days, gives themselves more time to pack and move. So that's an extra incentive that you can throw in. So, you can raise your price, you can shorten your contingencies, you can offer a free rent back. All of these things will make your offer more attractive. So go ahead and do that to give yourself the best chance of getting your offer accepted. Now, one other article that I came across, I'm going to try to find a link and put it in the description. It was an article on Coinbase, which is a cryptocurrency app, but it talked about what the Federal Reserve, for those who don't know, it's not the government. It's actually its own entity that controls the printing of money in our country and affects inflation, which which affects gas prices, affects home prices, affects the cost of milk, pretty much everything, right? So the Federal Reserve is in charge of printing money and controlling inflation. In the past, they aim for inflation to be 2% per year. So that means the price of a car, the price of groceries, the price of milk, the price of homes goes up 2% every single year. So they want to keep that number small to control things a little bit, right? You don't want one year, for a gallon of milk to cost $1, and then the next year it costs $10. So 2% is the number that has been the goal of the Federal Reserve, over the last 30, 40 years. So this is what happened. They released some information saying that they're going to consider inflation, instead of controlling it at 2%, they're going to open it up, and there's going to be some years, including right now, where inflation is going to be between 5 and 10%. Okay. Now, this is why this is so huge. So you remember when your parents or whatever used to say, "Oh, I remember when a gallon of milk was a nickel," right? And now a gallon of milk, I don't even know. I don't drink really milk besides almond milk. I don't even know how much it is, but basically the price of stuff slowly goes up over time. But if we're looking at 5 to 10% per year, I'm going to break down what that comes to when you're buying a house. So instead of taking 5 or 10%, I took the middle of that range. So I accounted for inflation at 7.5% per year. So if we take a house that today is worth $700,000, okay, if we add 7.5% inflation year over year to a $700,000 house, in 5 years, that $700,000 house is going to be worth $1,004,940. So that $700,000 house is now going to be worth over $1 million in 5 years, based on a 7.5% inflation, based on what the Fed is saying, based on all the money that's being printed, and the amount of buyers that are on the market, and the lack of inventory. So that is why buying a house right now is so important. If you are not invested in the real estate market, your money is just, the value of your money is just going to keep going down and down and down and down. Okay. Stocks have also been going up for 10, 12 years straight. There has to be a time where that corrects. Same with the real estate market. But if this inflation ends up coming to fruition, again, I'll leave the link to that article in the description below. But if this article comes to fruition, a $700,000 house is going to be worth over $1 million in 5 years. So if you keep dragging your feet and you don't get in a property, you're missing out on that in appreciation, and you're going to end up paying $1 million in 5 years down the road for a house that's worth $700,000 today. So just think about that for a second and kind of adjust your goals. If you're, again, try to get in a property in the next 6 months, in the next 12 months, because the longer you wait, if you end up waiting 5 years, now you're looking at $1 million for a house that was $700,000 in 2020 is going to be $1 million in 2025. And that's the low end. Not the low end, I'm sorry, the mid-range of inflation of 7.5%, where the Fed is talking about up to 10% per year. So just wanted to share that information with you guys. So I hope you guys found this valuable. If you guys enjoyed this video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'm coming out with videos every single week, and I'm bringing you guys real knowledge, real-time, firsthand experience of what's happening in the market. So that's why you want to subscribe, because I'm seeing what's happening and I'm bringing you guys tips in real time, because I'm actively 90% of my time, 90% of my time is as a loan officer, is as a real estate agent, and 10% of my time goes to YouTube. So that's why it's very, very valuable for you guys to watch this channel, because I'm going to tell you guys how the market is moving and what's going on. So thank you guys again. Best of luck. Please leave a comment below, and I'll see you guys